this is pretty much the same. This also sucks. Hey there and welcome back. So today I'm gonna talk to you about vlogging cameras. So for a long time I have been using this Canon G7X as my main point and shoot when I'm doing like that and I want to film myself because it has a flip up screen and this is just a little beast of a camera. Unfortunately, this broke down. The autofocus system in it just isn't working anymore. That kind of sucks because that's pretty much really what you need when you're vlogging. So I was thinking about buying the Sony RX100 Mark V, but that thing is expensive. Even though that I'm right now shooting on the Sony A7S Mark II and I could get similar image quality, simply just too expensive. So I was roaming around the internet and I found this, the Canon EOS M6. This thing is predicted to be probably the new holy grail of vlogging cameras. And I will say that I just got it, but it is really good. I'm not gonna mention a lot of specs on this because I'm shitty at memorizing it, and also who cares, because as a vlogger, what do you really need it for? Do you need 23.5 megapixels? Do you need like a big glass on it, or what do you need? Well, I cooked it down. So you need the screen to be able to do like that. You need it to not be so big when you're doing like that because it needs to be able to handle. It needs to have a good autofocus and it needs to have some good image stabilization as well because you will be moving around a lot. So how about this? How is this? Well, I will say the autofocus in this is amazing. So this is me on the M6. Now you can see I can kind of throw this around and it will pretty quickly find my face and focus on it. You need to be able to do this. For the things that I do a lot of skating and I do a lot of, as a sound guy, I have to turn around and do a lot like that. Also, the light is pretty good. I have a big light from behind now and you can see it pretty much just evened out my face. And when I'm turning around here, it gets a little brighter, but it's not too bad. This was pretty good, but this is amazing. I can just throw it around all I want and it just keeps up. The other thing is the image stabilization. I will say that this is better. It's more smooth. This is a little more wobbly. It works, it's fine. The only thing I have to do is pretty much keep a steady hand, and that's fine. That's fine. That's a small price to pay. And I'm back here again. The image stabilization is not the best in the world. They do say they have a fine point axis, but mostly you should just go for the lens with the image stabilization, even though that the Canon hasn't done a lot of M series lenses yet, but they will probably come because now they have the M3, the M5 and the M10 and now the M6. So they should come out with a lot of glass soon. But as you can see here, it is pretty fast. It doesn't do a lot of smooth things. It is wobbly. I mean, I'm not even doing a lot of image right now. I'm not a lot of shaking right now. But again, it is what it is, and like I said before, it's a small price to pay to have to learn to hold my hand steady. The only thing sucks a little is, of course, not being able to do a lot of action with it because it would simply just be too wobbly. But again, small price. The biggest thing for me is the sound, because the thing about this is this has a really good built-in mic, but unless you do the little trick with the dead cat thing on here and some tape, every time there's wind, it just sucks. This is pretty much the same. This also sucks, but this has a mic input in it, which is pretty nice. I watch a lot of YouTube videos and I can just pretty much just get a little Rode Video Micro and put it on here with a little rig, and actually you have a small little rig. Also because I really don't want a big thing where I'm gonna put this on the side or anything, because this is just pretty much just silly what the YouTubers are doing now with these big vlogging rigs, because you don't want a big rig. You just want to be able to do this, and if you want to have a little mic on here which you can put a dead cat on, and then the wind is suddenly not a problem. That's an awesome thing. So that was also a very big plus for me. But the built-in mic is amazing. It really has a good quality, so you can also just use that whenever you're inside or whatever. As you know, the image is big, but the sound is everything. So the sound really needs to be good. Right now I'm doing this with a lavalier mic, and I'm of course also going to test this with the lavalier mic so you can just hear how the built-in is. This is with the lavalier mic. This is a Rode Smart Plus lavalier mic, which I have a small cable. You won't be able to see because it's here. I have a small adapter so I can go directly into the camera instead of my smartphone. This is a really good mic, so the sound is also really good on it. I actually think that the lavalier mic is the best one to do sound with, but it is a bit unhandy whenever you're outside to keep going putting a mic on yourself. But also having this big thing here, the Rode thing here, is not the way to do it. So you can do a little rig with the Rode Micro one, which you can find on YouTube. Just go YouTube M5, M3, M6 with mic setup, and then there'll be like 2 million videos about it, so you can see it there. And I'm gonna do that. I just need to get it home. This is with the lavalier mic. Let's switch to the built-in. So this is the built-in. The only annoying thing when I'm switching between mics is that I have to go set the level for the recording. But this is actually still a really good sound. It's just, it picks up a whole lot more noise, and the lavalier doesn't, so it's more isolated, and I like that. But it's still a good one, so when you're out you can pretty much use this and you don't have to rig up a big thing, and that is also very nice because it needs to be easy so it doesn't feel like a hassle every time you do this. Shooting in the dark. This is a mirrorless camera, which pretty much means that you can crank the ISO up a lot before it gets really grainy. The only thing you have to do in the post edit is pretty much just contrast it a little and most of the grain disappears. So this is amazing. The glass that's on here is a 15 to 45 millimeters. It's a 3.5, which is not that low. It has some balls when it comes to the light. It's pretty good. I'm just gonna mention a little more about this. This is the things I really like is that like on the Sony A7S, this has a roll right here and has a roll right here. It has a roll on the back as well, but these are pretty much predetermined, where on the Sony you can determine yourself. When you're shooting in video manual, as I'm doing, you have your shutter speed and your aperture, and that's I just think that's amazing. The screen flips up and out. The out thing I don't really need, but if you're a food vlogger or you're doing more stuff where you have to be like more like this, then I guess that's a good thing as well. I like this kit lens on here because it is small, and there's a button here and you twist it and then it goes out, and then now you have some zoom, and whenever you're done you just push it back in again. G7X is better for handling because this is a small one. It has a built-on lens which just comes out and goes back in, and that's nice because then you can just put it in your bag or in your pocket and then you go. This is with interchangeable lenses, which is a good thing, but as a vlogger you don't really need that. I'm probably gonna start using this for a whole bunch more like pictures because the image quality is really good on this, but as a vlogger it's not really a big deal for me. I would only use this lens anyway. Some people are saying that you have to get the 11 to 22 instead of the 15 to 45. I don't care. I don't mind it having the hand out a little, and I also don't mind being a little cropped in. I actually think that makes for a better image when you're doing the selfie style vlogging. But that's pretty much all my thoughts. Now I'm gonna use it a little more. I used it for my latest vlog and I'm gonna use it a little bit more. You can subscribe to my channel and follow along. Then you can pretty much see, because I'm gonna start using this, and I'm just gonna put a little M6 on the corner every time I do for the next few vlogs. That's pretty much all for now. If you want to follow along, please subscribe to my channel. And this is actually my first review, so I hope it wasn't too bad. Let's see what happens. Have a very nice week.